Hey, my loves, it's your girl, Cori Love. I am here tonight for Monday Movie Munch on Friday. So on Monday, we had a lot of technical difficulties. Like, I'm in Florida, so the storm was here, so we were losing internet. Some people lost power and so forth. But we are here tonight on Friday doing Monday Movie Munch. So if this is your first time, thanks for tuning in. If you're a returning guest, thanks for always rocking with your girl. Your host, Cori Love. And that's me. So tonight I'm going to have some very special guests. My second special guest co-host on Monday Movie Munch is going to be Alycia Mone. Then we're going to also have Robert Slocum and possibly Antonio, who plays in the film that we're reviewing tonight, Mortal Enemy. So if you have not watched it, I suggest you exit this live because we're going to be giving some spoilers and I don't want you to be spoiled if you haven't seen it yet. So let me go ahead and bring in my guest. But before I bring her on, I just wanted to let you guys know that November 8th through the 10th, I will be in Atlanta at the Indie Filmmaker Weekend. If you have not already purchased your tickets, tonight's your night for you to get an opportunity to win a free ticket. So make sure you watch all the way to the end of this show tonight, and you can possibly walk away with 2 tickets to the Indie Filmmaker Weekend. This is a place where if you're in the industry, you're upcoming, even if you're already in the industry, this is a place where you want to be because you get to network and meet with other indie filmmakers. All right, so let me go ahead and bring in Alycia. Hey, Alycia.
Hi, how are you?
I am wonderful. What about you?
I am doing well.
Good, good, good. Thank you so much for being here. Tell the people a little bit about you and what you do.
Well, my name is Alycia Mone. I do a lot. I am an author. I do behavior aid and mental health. I also manage an artist, a singer slash rapper. So I do a lot out here in Atlanta. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for jumping on the opportunity to be a special guest co-host. That means a lot to me. That means you watch my page, you watch what I got going on, and you like it because you here, right?
Hey.
Listen. All right, we're gonna go ahead, and the writer, producer, director of Mortal Enemies is also here with us. Let me bring him on, Robert Slocum. Hey, Rob.
Hey Rob, how are you?
Hey Queens, how y'all doing?
We are
Doing
well,
well.
and you?
I can't complain.
Right,
Every
right,
day
right.
above ground.
Do you know if Antonio's gonna join?
I didn't call him.
That's okay. I messaged him. He shared it out, but I didn't know if he's gonna join. I sent them the link too.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna just go ahead and get started with the review. Guys, like I said, we're reviewing Mortal Enemies, and this is the producer, the writer. He's also one of the leads. So shout out to you. I do want to say first and foremost, before we move forward, the growth, the quality, the acting, everything. And I'm not saying other movies weren't good. I'm just keeping it real, right? And that's a good thing to see the growth. You get to see the changes, and hey, we've come this far. I mean, from Tunk to Slimerous and now to Mortal Enemies. And that's just the ones that I've seen because I know you write for others as well. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to everything you guys have going on. Alycia, you have anything to say?
I want to add because I also follow Mortal Enemies, follow Eyes Glued, really, really good production. And this movie right here, I was telling Cori before we got on, I was like, oh my gosh, like I definitely can see from the beginning to now. Like again, the other movies were amazing as well, but this one, this was the one. Yes, I will
Thank
promote.
you.
This is the one.
Right.
I just appreciate y'all keeping it real. Y'all know how we do. That's the only way we know how to do it.
Exactly.
That's the goal, to get better and better every time.
And you're doing it. Trust me.
There's everything. Like they really played into their role. So yes, this was a really good one.
Definitely doing it. I really had to give you that for sure. But we're gonna keep it real. It's nothing but love. So don't take anything personal. Disclaimer right up front. Listen, we are not producers, directors, or writers. Well, I'm not. She is. But we're just gonna, be fair and be honest on what we saw in the film. At the end of the interview, the conversation, we're gonna share our loves and our wishes. But throughout, we're gonna be talking about some clips that we've seen. We're gonna share clips and talk about those clips that we share. So this is the first one I want to talk about. It was pretty much the beginning of the film, and it didn't hit home for me, but it hit home for students that I've had. And I thought this was so amazing for you to put into this.
You remember that?
Yes, I loved it though. Just not as much as when you would make me pancakes in the morning.
Just as long as you know you've been my world since the moment you opened your eyes. And you remain that. I love you.
I love you too, Dad.
I just think that's something that needs to be talked about. And in this film, you guys have so many messages. I don't know if most of them are intentional. I don't know if other people picked up on them. But when I say I got at least 5 different messages in this film. So is there any particular reason why you put that clip in there?
Yes. Before the movie takes the turn, I have to explain to you all why a father would go to the extremes to rescue his child. I had to show the audience that bond, that love. She's already guilty because he missed most of her childhood. He was locked up behind bars. And so now he has her back, and he's trying to show her that he's a changed man.
Right.
And that there's nothing in the world that he won't do for her than to have her snatched.
Right. Nice. You have anything to say, Alycia?
Yes. I feel like in today's time, we need that. We need for our girls to have those father figures. Boys need their fathers, but to see a father giving a daughter that type of love in today's time where most girls don't really have that, they kind of out here wild. And even though the character was behind bars all of that time, but to come back and show that love and show daddy is still here no matter what, I feel like that was amazing. Like I really, that needed
real
to be
quick. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Alycia.
Oh no, you're good. That was it.
Yeah, real quick. I just want to, without putting too much out there, that scene really hit home. And I hate that they did a dry run first. So this wasn't recorded. Both of us actually broke out in tears because the actress, this is her first time. She was amazing.
Yeah, she did well.
And, she had just graduated from high school for real.
Oh, wow.
And, unfortunately, her father wasn't able to attend. And so we had that moment, and, since that film, that's my other baby girl. That's my other daughter. So,
that's what I meant. Like, I feel like, to see that in the Black community, give, even, if people watch it and get help, like, let me go hug my daughter. No matter
yes.
Whatever, even if they're in prison, wherever, you just take that moment and be like, it might not be much, but let me reach out, because it was a really good moment, graduating, you were able to get out of jail, like that meant a lot, so yeah.
Wow. Shout out to Kayla Girly. Dad love you.
Listen, when I saw that, I rewinded twice. And I was like, yo, I said, man, people don't even understand how deep that is. And it reminded me of a documentary I watched where they did a daddy-daughter dance in a prison. And I was crying. I was crying because what happened with you and her in this film, the same thing was happening there with, I think it was 15 other girls, like just crying, and you're not there. You've been in since I was 2. And so that part, I think, just kudos to you. That's how you caught writing. Okay. That's called writing right there.
Thank
this
you.
too, for me, you know, I work with foster children, children that don't have their parents. And so to see that and for people to understand that, you know, no matter what situation, parents go through things. We all learning day to day, you know. So for him to get out and the first thing he's like, I gotta see my baby girl, you know, and just being there, you know, that matters, you know, especially with in real life, you know, people don't have that, you know. And again, dealing with foster kids and they go through so much and they're already in the system. So to have that and show in the Black community that fathers, no matter what they're going through, they still love their children, you know. So yeah, that was the
Unfortunately.
thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's I commend you for even having her to be in the film and stepping up, you know, in the absence of her parents. So shout out to you for that. And then with him coming out of prison and trying to do right, here comes the friend.
Yes, bro, I figured it out. It's on me.
He's trying to get it together. Here he
comes. Shit. There go 12. Yo,
this nigga.
I don't know if I should call this nigga your PO or your brother's husband.
Fuck you, man. Get out of here, man. Come pick the car up tomorrow.
Man, let me get up out of here for this nigga with some warrants out on my ass. Hey, if you need that extra bread, let me know. No strings attached, all right?
Yeah.
See, now this part right here is it's funny, but it's not funny at the same time because you just got out of prison. You're trying to do the right thing. Here go your friend. I'm fixing cars ain't gonna get you nothing. And you're trying to, you know, stay with your daughter, stay out to be with your daughter. And here he comes. And there's always one. You know, I think before that you told him that, you know, there's billionaires or millionaires that came out and they're doing their thing. And he still was trying to get you to not do the right thing. So how do you feel about friends like that, Alycia?
Of course, we don't like bad influence friends, but again, I appreciate them putting that part in the movie because it brings realisticness. Where'd she go? Is she still there?
I think we're still recording though.
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm putting you on the stage, girl.
I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, is everything okay? Okay. But yes, it's realistic. It's what really happens. You know, we always have those people that are bad influences around us, or some kind of way we're connected to somebody who everybody's not always gonna be right or whatever. And then that's their way. He felt like that was him having his best interest. Like, I still got you, you know. So even though it might look bad to certain people, in his heart, that was, I still got you. I know you just got out and I'll still put you on. That's him being his boy, you know. But when you're looking at it from another point of view, you like, dang, your homeboy just got out. Like, I would say from like a wife or a mother or a family member point of view, like, stay away from him. But in reality, you know, being in the streets, you understand, like, this my boy. He just trying to show me he got my back, you know. So, even though it's a horrible thing, it's kind of like a loyalty, and it's almost like you need those people around because those are the type of people that'll protect you and have your back, and they'll be there for you, even though you just got to learn how to deal with them and kind of like keep them at a distance type thing. So that's how I feel about it.
Yes. Robert, you got anything to say?
I mean, Alycia hit the nail, but you know, I just want to add, when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
And you know, he was raised, that's how they were brought up. You know, prison was enlightenment for DeMarco. You know, he got to sit down and reflect. So he realized everything that he's done up to that point led him to missing out on his daughter's childhood and missing out on his freedom.
Right.
So he's had that enlightenment. And sometimes we have those friends, like Alycia say, they really feel like they have your best interest at heart. There's no malice behind it. So
and yeah, I agree 100%. He really, really just said, hey, I'm just helping out my boy. I'm trying to make sure he stay good.
Right. And I feel like it's our job as a friend to slowly, because it's not gonna happen overnight, but you show them and you explain to them so they can become enlightened as well.
Correct. Because like she said, he probably just figured, I'm looking out, I'm helping you, partner.
Right.
with no ill will. Now in this movie, right, I got confused at first because you're the dad of one of the girls. Also, it's so funny. So the two friends was with the one girl. I mean, I got it. I eventually got it, but I'm like, wait. So I'm thinking y'all was best friends, and I mean, y'all were best friends too. But I'm like, wait, she the mama of both of them? What's going on? And then here go Pot your homeboy at the
Who sent her ain't shit daddy to jail for 15 years?
Yep, and that's his ain't shit baby mama Sheena.
Ain't that some shit? Talk about sleeping with the enemy in real life.
Exactly.
He been good too.
he done just got you talking about you. He talking bad about y'all eating your food, but messy, just messy. And it's always one of them at the family function. You already know they be sitting in the corner too, watching everything and talking about everybody. So
Right.
Listen, explain that family dynamics right there and how it happened.
You know, when I didn't just want my movie to be the typical abduction, human trafficking film. I wanted to add a lot of layers and make it so realistic so people from all walks can gravitate towards it.
Yeah.
The two main characters, they grew up together. They were best friends in a small town. One chose a life of crime, one chose to become law enforcement. So he ended up having to lock his friend up. And in the movie, we explain why he had to lock him up, even though he didn't really want to.
Right.
And so I guess it's one of those things where he started off trying to comfort and be there for the mother and the child in place of him. It just turned out. That's how I go down in real life. You go to jail.
I'm gonna bring y'all some money.
Right.
And then he
end up having dinner and some more stuff.
Right. I got you, man. I'm gonna look out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so you know how that goes.
All the way too far out.
Yeah. And then if you're just tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm having a Monday movie munch on a Friday with Alycia Mone and Robert Slocum, who is the writer, producer, and lead actor of Mortal Enemies and a few other films as well. So if you're not already following, follow him at Eyes Glue Production, Eyes Glue _Emperor, and also follow Alycia Mone at the Alycia Mone on Instagram. Okay, so it's what I was gonna say, the brother, well, the best friend, which is the dad, and you're the dad also of the other girl. Like, that's crazy because they're, like you said, that's actually in real life, but they typically don't get along. So I like that you didn't make them enemies, although one was a cop, one was in the streets at the time, but you didn't make them enemies. Now that's not knocking anybody else how they write and so forth. Everybody has their style, but I love that you did not make them enemies, and they really,
well, they are the moral enemies of the story, but it shows what drastic measures can bring people back together. Like you see, they had to ease back into their friendship.
Yeah,
took a lot of forgiveness and growth on both ends, especially the Marco,
which is big. So, so there's some things that I want to talk about when I do reviews. I try to hit on like the production, the music, and the performances. So before I show any other more clips, I just wanted to talk about the location. So the one location that really stood out the most to me was I'm guessing it's a restaurant or a bar where they held the girls captive. To me, that stood out because typically that's how it is. They're in common places people wouldn't think to find them, right? Was that intentional when you wrote the script? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was always taught the best way to hide something is in plain sight. And so it was an actual club.
Okay.
And so for the film, we made it a strip club, and it had multiple levels, but we only used the top level. And it gave that dark, gritty look for me. that seclusion type look, but we still in plain sight. Like you see the guys, they had the strippers, they chilling. You know, they had a girl stripping.
Yeah.
There's levels to it.
Yeah.
It's like a whole process for these females and some of these young men as well. And so we really want to shed as much light because it's, you know, people think they get snatched, then that's just it.
Right.
You know, everybody's story is different.
Yeah.
You know, you have some that get snatched and some guys pimp them for a while before selling them off, or have them stripping, pimping them. It's just crazy. It's a dark world, and so we want to shine as much light into that dark world as possible.
Is there any special any locations that you liked, Alycia, that stood out?
I think for me, I just like that they did. I like the traveling that you can see, like in different cities, different things happen. You know, like they went to Atlanta, was it? And when they went to Atlanta, you see, like, you learn, like, Atlanta is not somewhere you just play with. It's all fun and games, but you never know if the Uber driver is getting ready to do something crazy. And this is where a lot of stuff go down there in Atlanta. And I love the realness of that. Like, you going from this city to this city. Your city might not be like that. You can
Everybody friendly and
just be nice and do all of that, you know, but you can't do that everywhere you go. So I do like that they brought it from one location, one city to another, and you were able to see like real things that happen in Atlanta. So I love that part of it.
And I love that. I had to listen twice. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were still talking.
Oh no. I was just saying it really goes on in here in Atlanta. Yeah,
I did. Sad, but it's true, right? I like how it. If I don't know if anyone really peeped it, but Slocumville. I don't know if they know your name is. I was like, okay, because I'm like, I want to know what, and I was like, oh, I get it. I like that. I really, really like that. That's just so different, man. That was cool. That was definitely cool. There's a young man in the film as well when they were in the boutique, and unfortunately, I've actually heard about this locally, where friends are trafficking their friends. He wasn't their friend, but he kind of tried to wean his way in, and it was a sad situation for him as well because he's still young. This is not something that he probably thought he would be doing. And then there's one point where he ends up feeling guilty. And
Out the state, bro. I'm gonna pop his little whole ass too. He ain't solid. Not pulling that trigger would be the dumbest thing you ever did.
Put this shit the fuck down, nigga. Y'all niggas kill each other after we collect this money. Focus.
So now the ringleader, this gentleman here is the ringleader. He's young as well. And he was getting the big money and he reamed them in. And I know, obviously, you guys are in Atlanta. Y'all know that this is pretty unfortunate and common. Now, I think the young man said that his mom was on drugs.
Right.
He ended up being on the street. And that was his way out, which he didn't like, but he had to do it to survive, right?
Right. You know.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Alycia and I both, we're from the west side of Atlanta. And it's not just on our side of town where we grew up, but like life really will deal you some cards. And you grow up the way we grew up, it's easy to become desensitized. Like if you don't keep the Lord in your life, if you don't have somebody praying over you, loving you, I don't care how distant of a relative or a friend or a neighbor, if you don't have somebody constantly praying over you, it's easy to fall in.
Yeah.
And I want to add, like, even, you know, you definitely have to have somebody praying over you. That is what definitely keep us all, because, you know, sometimes it's not even about a parent being on drugs or anything like that. Sometimes it's just low income, you know, and it's a way of getting money, you know, and that's how you get pulled in too. It's like, I got to get money. Mama always struggling. Daddy always, you know, he trying to work. We ain't got no money. We need some money. And that's the root of all evil, but that's what makes the world go around. And when you see your other peers out here doing some of the things that you want to do, and they're
Having the
getting money,
things.
it's so easy to be pulled in from that aspect too, because everybody needs money, So I feel like that's another, avenue that people tend to go down with having to be from the streets.
Some people come from a world where they tell you go to school, go to college, learn all you can and get a job.
Yep.
But that's living for the future. Some people only have today.
Today.
And that's not justifying anything, but that just shows you have to empathize for that. Because
especially when you look in your refrigerator, there's nothing in the refrigerator. Your lights cut off. You got all the different things. So it makes people have to get out here and get it how they live. And
various reasons. Parents can have so many jobs, you rarely see them. So you see these things more than you see your parents.
Right.
I developed that family bond, that camaraderie. So you may have grew up without a father, and you look up to your big homie as a father figure. He's the one giving you advice. So it's
right. And it might not be the best advice, but that's who you know, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You just see him getting it. He look like he getting money, and it's like, let me be on his team. You would think that he has your best interest, and you would hope that he does, but that's not always the case. But that's usually how it goes. Yeah.
And I just want to lighten up the conversation a little bit, because when I tell you, I rewind and cracked up so much at this part right here. I thought it was hilarious.
Who the fuck is you?
Oh, no. I
gotta
gotta
tell
go
me
back.
something. I know you know something. I don't know. Man, you heard that shit?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean, that might be small to some, but I tell you, you heard Mikhail say, "Oh God!"
Man, that had me dying laughing too, Cori. We got the same.
Oh my God! I was crying. I was like, he did that part real well.
You can tell he was like, it was like it took him off guard for real.
Correct. And that's where the good acting comes in.
Yes.
I don't know if it was planned or whatever, but how many? You remember how many takes y'all did to do that?
It wasn't many. I promise you that. It couldn't have been no more than 2 or 3.
I could tell. I just had to throw that out there. I was telling Alycia earlier, I would cry every time I look at it. I laugh.
Yeah, that was organic there.
Yes. Shout out to Kyle. We're gonna talk about. I wanna hit the actors. I feel like they convincingly portrayed each role, and that goes to casting. So shout out to the casting directors. They know who to put in what, for which characters, and especially Sheena as the mom. Now, there's some parts where I felt like she didn't show too much fear or show too much concern, but overall, she did a well job as a mom, especially when she had to take the drugs. I'll take it for my babies. Like, I want them to remain pure or something to that effect, she said. Right. So that really hit, because I'm like, yeah, that's what a mom will do. I'm gonna look out for my babies regardless of what. And then the young lady, your daughter, she was, you could tell that she's new, because I look at a lot of movies, so I won't critique her, expecting her to have a lot of experience, but she played her role well. Then the other sister that took the pictures, I thought that was a big message that people need to do. Like my daughters, if they have to take an Uber, which I hate for them to do, I always tell them, go in, open the door. If you can't open the door, that means the child lock on. Just ask them, can you let me out? Because those are things that we have to be mindful of. Kyle was telling them, don't do this, don't do that. Watch where you go. You taught them how to take pictures and of everything. I mean, in this day and age, we can do that. Not in my day and age, but that was a big thing that stood out for sure. So explain some of that in your writing.
Like I say, I try and make it as realistic as possible. Mm-hmm. And, there's a lot of messages in this story. Like, we try and teach people how to conduct themselves, but, it don't always go as planned. But those little small nuances can save your life. taking pictures of everything, taking pictures of your Uber driver's tag, of the Uber driver themselves.
Yeah.
Different addresses you went to and all that. You might think that sound weird to some people, but that can be a life-saving tactic.
Yeah.
Leaving a trail.
The taking, you know what, when I saw that, I was like, I never take a picture of the house. Is that like the Airbnb? So that's something like I'm like, now, yeah, I'm gonna do that because I love taking a picture of a tag because I'm like, yeah, it's gonna trace to somebody. But the houses, that was a big top for me.
Right.
Now the one plot, I want to kind of say this for the end. Because I told y'all, if you're tuning in, we're talking about Moral Enemies out there, real review, a live review about the film Moral Enemies. So if you're tuning in and you have not watched it yet, there's going to be spoilers. So I suggest you go watch it. And when you do watch it, remember to hit that thumbs up and get it in the featured or most popular section, okay? But we're going to talk about the plot twist at the end because I did not expect it. And typically when I watch a movie, I'll be like, oh, this and this and this and this. That's gonna happen, but not this time. So, I mean, when I say you wrote the heck out this story here, you wrote it very, very well. So, what do you think about the performances, Alycia? What do you have to say?
I feel like everyone did such an amazing job. I feel like the actors really brought it to life. The characters, they brought it to life. It was a lot of action. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was very suspenseful at times, wondering what's going to happen next. I really enjoyed it. Listen, with us doing good, bad, and ugly, I literally struggled trying to find the bad and the ugly. When I tell you, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, she squeezed that in there. But like everything was so amazing. Like I just loved it. Like, and I'm not saying that because I know you personally. I was here ready to give my honest opinion.
Yeah.
And this is my honest opinion. It was beautiful. I loved everything about it. It was a few things, but we'll get to that. But yeah, the actors were great.
Very minor things to top it all. So shout out to Boss Behavior. I'm rocking mine. I see you rocking yours. Alycia, what going on?
I just said I gotta go order me a Boss Behavior shirt. Listen, because first of all, there's no way I shouldn't have one. We're all family.
Exactly. So we're gonna get on you. You're gonna have one and you're gonna take a picture and you're gonna tag us.
My hoodie on. You're gonna see me with my sweatshirt there.
Right. Aaliyah gonna drip you out. She gonna get you right.
Yes. And make sure you tag us when you get it because we need to know.
I got you.
I just want to put this out there real quick. I'm not racist by any means at all. I do have some pet peeves. And in this film, unfortunately, the head honcho was Caucasian. And of course, the two minions, I hate to say this, the two minions, is just a movie. It's not real life, y'all, are African American. So I'm like, you know what? I don't think
stop it right there. Just a small correction.
Okay.
It's two head honchos.
Who I originally thought was the head honcho.
Yeah, no. It was two of them though.
Yeah, the woman and
the two guys. No. The two guys, the black guy and the white guy. They both.
So the bald-head police lady, wasn't she the top?
No, they were all equals.
Oh, she was the third one. Yes. She was the third one. That's right, because they said that. Okay, you're right. Okay.
Okay, so for me, I feel a little different because I feel like a lot of the times, the white people do be the mastermind behind a lot of the stuff. So, if you think about like what's going on.
Wait a minute. Disclaimer: this has nothing to do with Robert Slocum.
No. Robert is
don't lie.
I'm just saying, in my opinion, it happens like that a lot. If you think about even what's going on with now in the world with the industry. A lot of the people that are above, the people that are getting in trouble, they, you know, they white. So
when I wanted to showcase with like the colorful villains, it's not a black or white thing; it's a green thing.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
like you, as you can see in the film, we had a Japanese, all that. You know, we're just showing like it's not a black or white or Asian thing. This is universal.
It's just human trafficking.
Yeah.
Right. No one can escape this.
Everybody is doing it. Everybody does it. So yeah.
Yeah.
And like in the sequel, we're gonna showcase that it's not gender biased neither.
Yeah.
Males go through it too.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all just heard that sequel. Okay. Now we know. Put it out there. And shout out Jet Doc. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah. One of my close friends, Tommy Duncan, he came up with the company Jet Doc. It was medical, like you know how you do your medical appointments over the internet. He was ahead of his time. He came up with this during the pandemic. He's also the movie I wrote and did with Dame Dash, The Prince of Detroit, is based on Tommy Duncan. So that's a very close friend of mine, so mentor, brother. He's doing well, and he has an amazing story to tell. Y'all may have seen The Prince of Detroit.
No, I just saw that it's on Tubi now. I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think I did see that. I need to go rewatch it.
Yeah, I got a list of movies to watch, man. Oh my goodness, they are dropping them left and right. In the restaurant, the club, there's this scene that's played by Jasmine where she had to explain herself when they caught up with them. This is what I call grooming.
I was a teenager when they brought me here. Did they turn me into this? Do you know how many girls have come through that door? Kill me.
Hey, man, what the fuck you doing, man? You said nobody wants.
You're gonna tell us everything we want to know about this group.
I can't tell you more than you already know.
Now, when I saw that part, I thought about, she said she's been with him since she was a teenager. And in my mind, I'm sure there were like many opportunities for her to get away, but then what would be the backlash? So a lot of times it's called some syndrome. I can't remember the name of it. Basically, what is it?
Yeah, I forget the name itself. Not Stockholm. Is it Stockholm?
I think it's Stockholm, where she figured that he had her so brainwashed that she couldn't leave. Like, I know she was able to go any place and do whatever after a certain amount of time. So why didn't she ever leave? She was just stuck in that. And then she started to groom other girls. That was her job to do. And typically that's what they have. What is it, like the big mama or the house woman or something like that?
Right.
And that's happened with her in this case. So I love that you put that in there, because people don't realize they don't usually want to do it, but they have no choice because they're so brainwashed. And that's what happens.
They become programmed to a point where it's normalized to them.
Yep. Definitely normalized. And it shouldn't be, but that's just what happens with them. Now, one part that I felt like was not realistic was the scene where he shot the man outside. Now, there may be a backstory to that. I was like, maybe they're in the back of the building, or maybe it's an abandoned building or something like that. I think it was this.
We're acting as if we know that Kyle has already given up dollars.
No loose ends. As soon as Dollars drops off those girls, we take them out.
No. We wait till the buyers leave with the girls. I don't want our customers to see the ugly side of this business.
Oh, what about the lethal weapon duo?
Our guy's gonna set those two up real good.
I wouldn't underestimate those two. We need a contingency plan.
So tell me, Mr. Adams, who exactly do you know?
The PI and the other girl's mother, the ones that stopped by earlier.
Okay.
That looks too real.
Giselle, have this mess cleaned up.
Now that's the only thing that's the only not realistic thing to me in the film. Is there any reason why I mean, like, I know he obviously shot him because of what he's doing, but on the outside of a building in the daylight, that was like, I don't think that could really happen, but it could.
Well, I guess we didn't. Originally, we were trying to have a drone shoot that scene because it was actually on a rooftop.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, a nice building.
Good spots, man.
And so, it was a display of power.
Yeah.
Show that because there are powerful people that can have folks killed, and they feel like they can't be touched. They have a disregard for life because they're that wealthy and that powerful.
Right. So he was untouchable.
Okay, yeah, I killed this guy, but I got the police on my payroll.
Yes, that's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. He gonna get it cleaned up because you heard him tell her that at the end. Get it cleaned up. Yep. So like I said earlier, your locations were top notch. I like them. The Airbnb. I don't know if it's an Airbnb or somebody's house or whatever.
It really is an Airbnb.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called the Oasis.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of scenes were shot in that one house.
No, see, my guy just talked about that last night. He said,
"Yeah, that's a little trick for you filmmakers out there."
Yeah,
use your imagination and your creativity. I can say that one Airbnb was maybe like 50% of the movie locations.
Wow. A legend said that last night on our interview. He said you could take a room and it could be somebody else. They don't know it's the same house. That's how you do it. So
exactly.
I mean, I just love. I would have never thought. I would have never thought.
Yeah. Because I'm like, we got beautiful locations. I love.
Yeah, that's what we keep saying.
Like, yeah.
All this time is right there in the one house.
That's amazing. I like that.
Yes. Now that's
the magic of film.
That is what you call right in there. So, anything you have to say, Alycia or Robert? Because we're gonna talk about our loves and our wishes. But I do know the music. Alycia, you talked about something about the music earlier. Like, is there?
Yeah. So that was my only wish because I don't have much. I don't have anything else. So the one wish that I did have, because it's something that I had to bring, I said maybe more music transitions. But other than that, that was literally the only thing. See, I told you I had to stretch something in there, but like literally that was the only thing that, you know, I wouldn't even say that I didn't like, but that was the only thing that I could think of that could have been differently.
I love it. So if you're just tuning in, or if you don't know, I do love, you know how most reviews are stars or whatever. So mine's is love because the Cori Love Show. So we have 3 hearts or 3 wishes, and it doesn't have to be 3 wishes. Like Alycia said, she couldn't find anything else that she wished to be done right. So that's huge. I mean, if you have 0 wishes, you're moving point. You know what I'm saying? So for her to only have 1 is the same thing. And for me too, that's the only one that I have was the shooting scene where I thought it was unrealistic because it was in the daylight. But then you corrected that, making sure, you know, I understood that they're in power, so they didn't care. They're you know, they're not afraid of anybody because they know they could have it taken care of with cops under their belt and everything. So that was my only wish too. So that's big. You only have 1, technically like 1, because Alycia isn't. She had to fight for that. That's a good thing. I'm gonna say one
really
love.
Appreciate y'all.
You're welcome. I'm gonna say a love, then you're gonna say a love. So we're gonna swap turns. Okay, Alycia, you could go first.
Okay. So my love was my first love was I love the storyline because it definitely bring awareness. Even with me working in the field that I work in, I work with sex trafficked girls. I work in that field. So I understand a lot of that. And sometimes they don't know a way out. And sometimes even though they're safe, I've dealt with girls who want to go back. Like, I need to go back, you know? So that's a big thing too. Everybody don't want to get out because that's what they know, you know? So it definitely brought awareness to what's going on. So the storyline, being that this is my field and this is what I do, I guess that's one of the reasons why I can't find anything wrong, because all of this stuff is real, you know? So yeah, the storyline was amazing to me. So that was that's my first love. Yeah.
And I said it before, my first love was the locations that we found out isn't many locations, but hey, I love that because for me, when I look at a film, I don't want to see certain things in the background that does not go with that particular line or that particular, you know, scene. So I love the locations. I thought they were well thought out and chosen for each particular scene. So that was my first love. Your second love, Alycia?
Okay. So my one was the action in the movie. I felt like it was a lot of action. I felt like it definitely kept our attention. It was the actors played their roles very, very well. I love that. Like everyone was into it. I just love the action in the movie. Like everyone played their role. So that was my second love. Yeah.
And it's so crazy because we didn't know each other's loves.
No.
When we come on, we just come on. And I told her, come with 3 loves and 3 wishes. I'm going to show some clips and you can piggyback off of them. So for her to say that is like, that's mine too. I felt like the actors did their part. The right people were chosen for each part that they were given. So that was super, super dope. I love that. And my final love is the quality. Like, y'all stepped it up so bad. Like, I love that. I'm like, oh my God. When I saw it, I was like, yes. Because you know, from day one, you were A1. Like, if people don't know that are watching this, Jasmine, which is Robert's wife, she gave me the name D&D Plug. And before that, though, I had him on my previous show. And we talked about a lot of things. And I said to him, well, when you shoot your next movie, make sure you put me in a movie. Brother man called me. Hey, I got a role for you. I was like, for real? Because I was kidding. He kept his word. So if you're not already following, make sure you follow Eyes Glued _ Emperor on Instagram and Goldstream Moral Enemies. Yes. Trust me, everything this man does and says, he keeps it. He keeps his word. So I trust that. I respect you for that. I love how you support me. And you got me. Like, that's it. Ain't no other thing gonna happen. We there for life. And the messages, the trafficking, the peer pressure, the politicians, the love, the camaraderie with the friends in the end, and the daddy-daughter really, so many messages. Like, I love. You know, you typically look at a movie and it's like, oh, yeah, they got married in the end. They're in love. But this one has so many, like, I feel like
it was real. It was real.
Yeah.
It was real.
Really, really, really real. So those are my 3 loves: the quality, the messages, and the location. The actor, I had to add a 4th one. The actors brought their parts to life. So what's your 3rd one, Alycia?
So my 3rd one would be the setup of it. And again, I thought that we had different locations or whatever, but I also love how, you know, you go from city to city, and every city is different. Just because your city, you can probably be relaxed. You can't go to the next city and do that. Always be aware of your surroundings, and understand that, you know, these nice Southern hospitality people always don't have your best interest. So, you know, like the Uber driver, you know, he had that little voice. I was like, ooh, it's something up with him. The way he just talking, it's up with him. So it's those Southern hospitalities, like, that'll get you. You know, it's so many people that get date rape drugged and all type of things that happen just because you thinking, oh, they cool. They, you know, they was real cool. Like, but that ain't always the case. So that was my other love, bringing that part to life, to the awareness of it. Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because when he said, y'all, Atlanta ain't what y'all think it is, I was like, oh, Why are you saying that? Like just right off the bat, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
It's true.
yeah. He read me in with that one.
It's a real misconception.
Yeah. Everybody wants. One time I heard that the thing is with Atlanta, it's so many exits, like so many different. You go to so many different cities. So if they grab you and they snatch you, it's like they ain't got to take you on a plane. They could drive so many other surrounding places, you know?
Yeah, and not only that, it's so many warehouses, it's so many different things, and the people that are into it know exactly what to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's again right in your face, under your nose type thing. So you just would never know, you know. So yeah.
So all we gotta do is be aware of your surroundings. Take pictures. Take a lot of pictures. Take a lot of pictures. Recording. I mean, it'll help. It'll help when you think that it won't. Again, I love the movie, so I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Alycia, let me show the scale what we talked about earlier. Let me see if I can pull it up. Gotta make my screen bigger.
That means the world to me. All them slime race dollars went straight to more enemies.
We keep it real, keep it 100. It is definitely a hitter.
Yeah. So for me, I would say 5 out of 5 because again, it's so realistic because I understand what's going on and what's out here. And it definitely hit. Like everything was good about it, like to give, you know, a great view of what's going on. And especially in Atlanta, like it's happening.
And I want to give a little back end to that, if y'all don't mind. First, the senator that you see in the movie, Senator Donzella James. She's a senator here in Georgia. She's the first senator to write to pass a bill on human trafficking in all of the United States. So it meant the world to us to have her in the movie to show that validity. Not only that, I'm sorry.
What? She was the judge.
That was the senator that was speaking on the news in the press conference.
Okay. I thought she was okay. And then the young lady at the end as well.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. Shemetria Gonzalez. Very close friend of mine. She is a survivor of human trafficking. And she's now a spokesperson. She's an entrepreneur, multi-million-dollar conglomerate. She's a wonderful person, but she's gone through so much and overcame so much. But when I showed her the film, I told her, I said, Shemetria, if you don't think this movie is realistic, I'm not going to put it out. I promise you. When she gave me the seal of approval, she said, she said it was kind of hard for me to watch. She like, I loved it, but it was difficult because it was that realistic. And that's why I was like, okay, we got to push this.
Yeah. And that's why I say 5 out of 5, because I understand, you know, how real it is. Again, I work in the field and everything isn't going to be perfect because it's not a perfect situation. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that was as good as it was going to get. I felt like that was a movie that should have been in AMC. Like it should have been in a movie theater. That's how good it was. And it bring that awareness. Like it was real. And again, being that I work with these girls every day and the struggles that they have and the things that we talk about, you know, girls not even want to take a bath because of the things that they've been through. It's real, you know. So I just felt like it was real. So that's why I'm like, nah, this is a 5 out of 5 for me. Yeah.
It's definitely let me share this with you guys. And that's a clip that I wanted to share, was her talking. So this is the scale that I created. And when we look at it, I say it's a 4 out of 4 because there were just a few minor flaws, nothing big, nothing huge or whatever. And then in a 5 out of 5 for me will be absolutely like memorizing the lines and knowing it and everything, which I kind of do. I kind of do. So yeah, so I have to go back on that for real though, and definitely it's a 5 out of 5 because with me with some of the performances, like I said, the young lady, I know that she was new to it or whatever, but and then on top
there's a lot of newbies in that one.
Yeah, yeah, and then on top of it, y'all growth, y'all growth. So if you have not watched it, I want to encourage you to watch it all the way to the end, undisturbed. And I said undisturbed because I really want you to focus and understand a lot of things, especially when the young lady was taking the pictures. When I guess you'll call her the house mom, was telling them why she's why she's doing what she's doing. Just listening to the senator and some of the things they were saying, and then the plot twist at the end. Should I give it away? I don't want to give it away. I don't. So you have to watch it because what you think is going to happen isn't going to happen. So make sure you check it out. Again, hit that thumbs up on Tubi. 5 out of 5. Alycia and Cori love approved. So make sure you check it out. Again, Alycia, tell them again where they can find you.
You can find me on the Alycia Mone on Instagram, and you also can get my book on Amazon. I once was lost, but now I'm free.
And Robert
Slocum. Instagram, where you can always find me. Eyes glued _emperor. I always write back. Always.
And really do. And y'all already know I'm your girl, Cori Love, here bringing you the best. And we have one of them tonight. More Enemies on Tubi. It's free. It's a free app. Go check it out. Hit the thumbs up and follow my 2 guests and stay tuned for more. Guidance, blessings, and love. Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Queens.
You're welcome.